Hi you guys, I'm back today with a video on a brand that I have never had a chance to try before, and honestly I was super excited because they actually reached out to me and asked if I would be willing to review this product. They said be honest, it's completely fine, and I love a brand that is open to your feedback. So the brand that I'm talking about today is xZx Cosmetics, and the palette that I'm talking about is the Dreamer palette. Now this is the outside. I've got it out of it because that's what I do apparently. I can't ever just keep it in the sheath. I can't ever just keep it in the actual sleeve, but this is what the outside looks like. I really like the pink and purple clouds. I think that's really cute. Definitely gives me Dreamer vibes. On the back, it has the ingredients listed, which is really nice. This is vegan and cruelty-free, so that is a huge plus for a lot of us. The actual palette itself looks like this. I like it. I like black packaging. I just find black packaging to be really practical. I don't know what it is, but it's just kind of my aesthetic. When you open it up, this is what it looks like. And I'm going to try and turn this a little bit in the light so you guys can see some of the shiftiness. It's kind of subtle, but there is definitely kind of some different finishes on some of these shades. So this palette is only $30 and it did ship extremely quickly. The website actually has free shipping at $50 people that are in the United States, and they have a pretty good selection of products on their site. So I actually spoke with the owner, who is extremely kind, and I will link his channel down below because he actually has his own channel. His name is Zeph. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, I am so sorry. Probably one of the absolute nicest people I've spoken with. I was actually really surprised he was so open to hearing what I had to say and really seemed passionate about what he was doing and really making sure people were happy with the products that he's putting out and what he could do to make things better in the future. I like that. I think that's really cool. And I did give him some feedback, which I'll be talking about with you guys as I go through this palette. First things first, the mattes in this work extremely well. I like them a lot. They're really soft. They're easy to use. They're really pigmented. I would say that the hot pinks are definitely like, boom, they are hot pink. Initially, when I saw this, number one, I like pinks and purples, but my favorite colors are greens. When I saw this, I instantly thought of Lisa Ann on YouTube. It like cracked me up. I messaged her. I was like, I just saw this palette. It immediately made me think of you. I can't wait to show you because this is exactly her vibe. And the metallic shades that are in here are more like a soft and subtle metallic. They are not like a blinding foiled metallic. So if you were looking for that, this may not be the right fit for you. Or what I want to do in the future is maybe pair it with another palette because I really like super foiled shades. You guys know that, but I can't use glitters. So if you guys like glitters, maybe you could top it with that. But if you don't necessarily like a blinding metallic, this is right up your alley. So first things first, when I saw this, I initially thought that there were some shades that were pretty similar to each other, and I will say upon swatching it, I've kind of changed my mind. Like, I kind of thought this was like this. Undertones were different enough that I could appreciate each of the colors. The only two that I think are actually very similar are these two shades right here, and that's after I've swatched them. That's just my thoughts there. You'll be able to see that when I do the actual swatches, but the rest of everything that is in here is different. You'll be able to see those undertones when I do the swatches. The other feedback that I let him know is that I would personally like to see ingredients on the website, but that's something I look for on every website. I always want ingredients listed because personally I have a lot of allergies and I like to see ingredients. However, knowing that it's vegan is usually enough for me to feel like it's probably going to be okay. Although occasionally I have gotten something later and said, oh shoot, I can't use it because like banana flour is added to it, which recently I found out I'm not allergic to banana anymore, so your girl's going to be scooping up a few extra things. But right off the bat, I can tell you that this is a really beautiful color story, and if you like pinks and purples, this is going to be your jam. It is gorgeous. It performs well. The only other two things that I personally, just because of my taste, would have liked to see added to this would be like kind of a light highlight shade to put underneath my brow. That's like a preference I have with every palette. I've said that about Melt palettes and Sydney Grace palettes. It's just a preference I have. I like to have a light highlight shade. The other thing I would have liked to see is something that is either in a different range of shade or a show-stopping metallic, because that is my jam, or even like a duochrome or a multi-chrome. That's just kind of how I roll. I really like to pop a look with that type of texture. I feel like those shades really add dimension to any look that you're doing. Other than that, I think this palette is gorgeous. I think $30 is extremely affordable. And of course, I love supporting a smaller brand. But as far as brands go, I am certainly excited about supporting this one. I think he is one of the most passionate people I have met, and I really wish him all of the very best because he certainly deserves it. And after trying this, I actually did place an order for some other items that are on his site. They actually, and I'm going to insert a picture up here somewhere, here has a palette. It's called 420. and it's green. And you guys already know how I feel about green, and I feel like he really smashed it out of the park with this one. I love the whole color story that's going on. I cannot wait to try it. I'm very excited about it. And I did pick up an extra one for a future giveaway because I think someone else would really enjoy it as well. And then I got a few of his lip products and another palette to try on my channel at a later date, because right now I have a massive amount of things that I want to try. And it feels like I am so behind, and I hope to get to everything as soon as I possibly can. The thing I want to let you guys know is I do have a code with them. It is not affiliated, so I don't get anything from that, but it is just to help you guys. So if you want to save a little bit of money on your purchase, the code is Jaclyntriesit, which I will put right here. And like I said, nothing comes back to me. It is simply for you guys to save a little bit of money. So I want to go ahead and swatch this for you guys. Then I'm going to do this eye look, and then I'll come back at the very end with my final thoughts. So there aren't any names on the palette itself, so I'm just going to go left to right, top to bottom, starting with the very first shade. Ooh. The texture of that is really nice. It's kind of a slightly pink toned purple. I don't know if it's showing up in the camera so much, but it is second shade. And that's a very bubblegum pink shade. That's super pigmented. That's a really beautiful maroon shade. Looks slightly more pink in the camera though. And that's kind of like a fuchsia shade. Okay, so the texture of that is awesome. It feels kind of like a topper, but it's almost like a topper that's foiled. It is really beautiful. It is a purple that has more pink than this. It's really nice. And this is a very red toned pink shade. Kind of like a red hot pink. Okay, so in the pan, I thought that these two would be more similar. So hopefully you guys can see this is more of a brown undertone and this is more of a pinkish purple undertone. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there's a few shades in here that are really giving me Pat McGrath Divine Rose Collection kind of vibes. Like a mix of some of her palettes. The finishes aren't quite the same, but definitely those vibes. This is like a kind of satiny hot pink that is a little bit more purple. Slightly salmon colored pink. Here's some things I want to tell you guys. So the textures of the metallics, or the like shinier shades, are really nice. Like they're very smooth, they're very easy to use. They have a slightly waxy texture, but not like where it impedes the actual performance. The mattes, most of them are kind of like that drier but easier to use format, except for this one right here, which actually reminds me a lot of the Natasha Denona Cream to Powder. That's exactly what the texture feels like to me. To give a strange description, this is kind of a dusty rose red. Okay, so this shade right here is very similar to this, except for I think it is more metallic and a bit more purple. And that is a really beautiful, kind of almost gray-toned purple shade. I actually thought it was going to be a lot more similar to these two, but it is more of a purple mauve-y kind of undertoned burgundy shade. And that is an extremely hot pink shade. Like, that was my favorite shade in high school. The very last shade. And that is the very last shade. It is slightly, even a little bit more purple than this one. It is extremely similar to this one. And this is the whole Dreamer palette. And this is the whole palette in low light. It does look like some of these actually have a little bit of duochrome to them. And I will say it is more diverse than I thought it was going to be when I first looked at it. Okay, you guys, I am back and I want to give you my final thoughts. First things first, I like the outside of this packaging. I think it is really cute. It's very reminiscent of a Dreamer in my mind, like, it's very dreamy. The back has the ingredients. It says vegan and cruelty-free. It is a $30 palette, which is a great value for the amount of shades that you get in here and the quality that they actually are. The palette itself looks like this. It also has the ingredients on the back as well. And then when you open it up, it is a pink and purple fantasy. I don't know why I held it like that. That was very strange. In any case, this is what it looks like on the inside. Right off the bat, I've got to tell you guys that the mattes are extremely easy to use. They're very blendable. They're very soft. I definitely find them extremely easy to use. The metallics themselves are not so much like blinding metallics. They are very shimmery, but they are not like in your face. These are more subtle, so if you're looking for something that is like pop bang, it is not in here. You're not going to find it. However, this is something you can easily pair with another palette. In fact, I could add a little pop of that and it would be perfect for me. So the feedback that I would have on this palette is just that I would have liked to see the addition of a highlight shade, something I could have put under my brow. I like that kind of inclusion. It's just a personal hang up. And then for me, I would have liked to see at least one or two very foiled shades, maybe of a different shade. Maybe like a gold or a silverish tone would have been really nice in here, or even like a duochrome or a multichrome, because personally I feel like it adds a lot of texture to a look and can make it seem far more dimensional, which I really personally like. Now, that's not what everybody enjoys, and that's okay. I think this could easily, even though it looks kind of intimidating, I think that this could become very easily wearable when you just take one or two shades and use them together, and then it becomes kind of like a neutral pink or neutral purple type of palette. So it is very versatile in that way. As far as shipping times go, it was extremely quick for me to receive this, and every time I've spoken to him, he's been nothing but kind to me. Again, I was given this palette to review, but he told me to be honest, and that's what I'm trying to be with you guys. And I've got to say, I definitely think that this palette is worth it. If you are a fan of these colors, like these, I think you will not be let down. I think it is beautiful. I think it performs well. I think that the price is very fair for what you're getting here. And also don't forget, I do have a non-affiliated code for you guys to use. It is Jaclyntriesit. That is just for you guys. I don't get any kickback from that. I did order some more things off of his website, so as soon as they get here and I have time, I really want to get around to using them, especially the green palette. I really wanted to try his like nudish palette. And I also did pick up lip products because you already know I've got a lip problem. I got a liquid lipstick and I got a lip gloss, so I'm excited to try those. I always like checking out indie brands. I like to support indie brands, and I like to share them with you guys because I always want to give them love. There's tons of big companies out there making plenty of money, and I like to put my money out to a smaller business personally. If this video was helpful to you guys, make sure you like this video, put a comment down below, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.